Apex Bank in Nigeria, the CBN, will be expanding the use of eNaira, the digital currency, official digital currency in the country, to the government's public sector, and that would also be pushed towards the private sector also to ensure that people embrace the use of this technology, this financial technology, to drive transactions across board. And earlier on, we had Dr. Samson Simon, who is the chief economist at Arkk Economics Data Limited, and now he joins us to further explore this particular issue as regards the challenges and what the government needs to do to accelerate the process. Dr. Samson Simon, thank you so much for joining us. We had issues with your audio. I want to believe that it is good right now.
I believe it's okay now.
Okay, so let's talk about the eNaira. Now, let's look at the transactions that have been done with this platform, the embrace, so to speak, before now, and what the government is trying to achieve now. Do you think that what the CBN is pushing for can be achieved with the use of the eNaira?
Yes, I think what the central bank is trying to do is the right thing to do at the moment. The adoption has been abysmally poor. It has been abysmally low. And if you draw an analogy, China is experiencing the same situation too, and they have decided to deploy strategies to ensure that the adoption grows as fast as it should. And I think the Central Bank of Nigeria is adopting a similar measure to ensure that the adoption is widespread. You rightly mentioned that less than something in the region of a third, 0.36% of the currency in circulation is in eNaira. That is completely unacceptable because the prospects of the eNaira are beyond measure. So there's no need for the adoption to be very poor. And the central bank is trying to be more aggressive. They're trying to bring in federal government, bring in state government, bring in deposit money banks, bring in everybody to ensure that the adoption is as widespread as it should be.
Okay, so we just want to understand from this point now what the challenges are now and what are the solutions to scale up the adoption numbers.
There are many challenges. There's a need for incentivization of the adoption of the eNaira. The incentives are not good enough. So there's a need to incentivize people, to incentivize government to adopt the eNaira. Even for deposit money banks, they need to go out of their way to encourage people to be on the eNaira. And apart from that, even the infrastructure, the technology, it needs to be more robust than it is now. And even for the safety, the central bank has been saying that it's less susceptible to fraud. But are people really convinced? Most people are not convinced. They feel like it's another way of exposing themselves. So there's a need to dispel this fear that there is nothing to be afraid about. And another point is that some people feel that by adopting the eNaira, you're subjecting yourself to the prying eyes of the authority. So you need to convince them that there is data privacy. So there are a lot of challenges that need to be tackled.
Of course, we know there are lots of cash, physical cash in circulation. Maybe if this is embraced and well implemented, that will reduce that physicality. Thank you so much, Dr. Samson Simon, for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.